Hey you guys, I am back. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram at MirandaGetsFit93 and make sure you go like my Facebook page. It's Miranda Gets Fit. There's no 93. Um, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe. Please and thank you. I wanted to talk a little bit about trial and error and a couple other things. What got me to where I am nutrition wise and health wise now. I started meal planning and prepping and trying to cook healthy when we were living in Colorado. That's when I initially thought that I was ready to start this lifestyle. I would eat the healthiest stuff, um, whole wheat bread, egg whites, low carb, no carb, only vegetables, only meats. I would do all this extreme stuff. They were good, they were healthy, and they were sustainable for what I was doing right then, but I could not see myself sticking with it long term. I would do a couple weeks of, okay, I'm going to eat this. And it would be the same thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Egg whites and veggies for breakfast, a wrap for lunch, and then a chicken and a vegetable for dinner. And it was the same thing every single day. I wouldn't use seasoning. There was no butter. I would use that, Pam spray stuff. And it was just not something that I could see myself doing. I even went as far as doing a juice fast before I got married, before my wedding, to try and drop a ton of weight. And it was literally fruits and vegetables dropped in a juicer, and that's all that I would drink. No protein, no tons of carbs because fruits and vegetables have the carbs, but it was none of the nutrients that I needed. And I dropped like 15 pounds in 2 weeks, and I was like, great, now I can, slowly go back to eating. As soon as I started eating regular foods again, all that weight and then some came back because I gained a ton of water weight with that weight when I started to eat regular foods again. And so I wound up being the same weight for my wedding. I lost absolutely no weight. And I don't even go back and look at my wedding pictures because I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't, of course it was a fun day, but I do not enjoy the way that I looked. I didn't enjoy my wedding dress. I didn't enjoy taking pictures. I didn't feel good. And so that's something that I really regret, is that I did not find Herbalife, what I currently do, when I really needed it leading up to getting married. Because had I been doing that before, I would have healthily lost the weight, been able to keep it off, and would enjoy looking at my wedding pictures now. I have also done the keto diet, which is a huge, huge thing right now. Like, it is all the rage right now. And what keto is it's very high fat, moderate amount of protein, and minimal carbs, like less than 20 net carbs a day. And I did that for maybe a month or two. I had hit a plateau, and so I was looking for something to kind of break that. And I had heard about keto, and everybody had these awesome, amazing, quick results. And I got sucked into it, and I went ahead and tried it, and it worked. I won't lie about that. You can make some delicious foods on keto. You can eat some really fun things on keto. But one thing nobody tells you is that consuming that amount of fat is not healthy, especially when you cannot get all those fats from healthy foods. You're eating absurd amounts of cheese, absurd amounts of coconut oil and butter and red meats so that you can get all this fat that you're supposed to eat in one day. And it screwed up my gallbladder. So those are just some of the things. I mean, of course, I tried the whole fasting and eating one meal a day, eating tens of millions of small meals a day, only snacking. I mean, I could go on and on about everything that I tried. And until I found Herbalife, nothing was sustainable. And I've been using Herbalife for about a year and a half, close to 2 years now. And it has by far given me the best results. I've been able to consistently use it. Um, and it's not gotten boring for me. There's tons and tons of shake combinations I can make, and tons of snacks I can eat, and tons of foods I can eat, and there's so many different things you can do. I can make like mug cakes and pancakes with my shakes and not feel guilty. They don't upset my stomach. It's completely healthy. You get all the nutrients you need. I've not found a way to go wrong with Herbalife yet, because within 3 days of trying it, you immediately see results. Now, you're not going to drop 20 pounds in a week like you might on some of these crazy diets where you gain it right back immediately, but you will see the change in your energy. You see the change in your clothes. You see the change in how you feel. And that is what has been the biggest thing for me, is all these small changes that I've done have led up to the results of losing 65 pounds like I have. It's actually 67 now. Those 2 pounds matter. And in conjunction with my nutrition, I also started a boot camp about 2 years ago. I think we just hit 2 years in July that I started going. In conjunction with my nutrition, I also started working out. Now, within Herbalife, we have this 80-20 rule, and a lot of people only use the products to start, and they don't necessarily work out right away. And that's the beauty of Herbalife, is that if your nutrition is on point, you will see results regardless of how much you work out. If you want to take your body to new levels, though, it is definitely encouraged to work out. And I started going to a boot camp about, I think we just hit 2 years in July. And it is the most amazing group that I have ever found. When I initially started, I was invited by a friend of a friend. And I messaged her out of the blue. I said, hey, so-and-so told me about this boot camp. I have lost a little bit of weight on my own, but I am looking to further my weight loss and really start seeing some results. And so I went to this boot camp, and straight up, I was the only white person. The entire group was Hispanic, and I walked up there and I just kind of looked around. It was outside, it was at a park. And I looked around and I thought, what have I gotten myself into? I'm not going to be able to understand them. They're going to think I'm this crazy overweight white girl. They're not going to like the fact that I'm not up to par with them. And so I had all these things racing through my mind. But I did not leave, because I drove all the way there, and I told this girl that was running the boot camp that I would stay. And so I stayed, and I worked out, and it was difficult. But the great thing about it that I noticed right away was that every single person there was at a different level within their nutrition, within working out. We all were at different levels. There were some people that were doing like 100 burpees and push-ups, and the whole workout they went through without a problem. And then there were the intermediates that used a couple modifiers, went a little slower than everybody, but they got it done. And then you have me, who is huffing and puffing and drenched in sweat and having to stop every 2 seconds, but I got through it. And the awesome thing is, the coach there kept going. She kept encouraging me. She kept pushing me, saying, hey, if you need to take a break, stop, but keep going. Don't quit. And so we had this awesome Spanglish boot camp where it was just this whole group of people. We were all there for the same purpose. We were all there working towards the same goals, and it was great. We had those about 2 to 3 times a week, and in between those boot camps, so for the first year, I went to like every single boot camp there was. And in between those boot camps, I would work out at home. I had a bunch of videos that I would watch and do home workouts in my living room or in the garage. I would look up stuff on Pinterest, and I still do that to this day. I still look up workouts on Pinterest, and I still use home workout videos. But the boot camp gives you something that you don't find anywhere else. You have that community of like-minded people. You guys, they're all encouraging you, and you just get that boost that you need of, hey, good job today. You did really great. Can't wait to see you next time. And you know that a week later, you're going to see those same people, and you guys are going to have new results to share. There was actually, so we had boot camps that was like Tuesday and Thursday, and then there was a Sunday one that was put on by a different coach. My coach would be there some of the time, but it was put on by this other lady and gentleman, and I was even going to that one, even though I had no idea who these people were. My coach had told me, hey, there's another boot camp on Sundays if you're interested. And so I went to that one. So my very first week, I went to a boot camp on Tuesday, a boot camp on Thursday, and a boot camp on Sunday. And that Sunday one was a morning boot camp. It started at like 8 o'clock or something like that. And so I got up, I got ready, and I went to the boot camp. And we started working out, and about, I want to say like 15, 20 minutes into it, I got sick. And my coach came over to me, and she's like, are you okay? Do you need to stop? Do you need some water? And aside from the fact that I had not drank enough water during the boot camp, you guys, I didn't eat before I went because it was a morning boot camp, and I'm like, oh, I don't need to eat. And I wound up throwing up because I didn't have anything in me to fuel my workout. I hadn't had any water to hydrate me during my workout. And I was trying to keep up with everybody else, even though I was by no means at that same fitness level. And so I made a fool of myself in front of everybody. But I learned from it. Never again have I done a workout or gone to a boot camp without eating. I always have water with me. And I know that I need to go at my own pace instead of trying to impress other people and work out at a million miles a minute. So into boot camp consistently for about a year. So when I started going to boot camp, we would run laps. There was this hard top. It was, like I said, it was at a park. There was this hard top that we would run laps around. We'd start off running laps as a warm-up, and it was typically, I want to say, about 4 laps. And when I first started, I could barely run 1 lap. Like, I was out of breath. I think when I started boot camp, I had lost about 20 pounds on my own, just working out at home and trying to eat healthy. Another thing, when I started boot camp, I was not yet using Herbalife. And so it had taken me about, I want to say, probably 4 or 5 months of working out on my own and using my own nutrition, trying to come up with my own meals. And I had lost about 20 pounds in that 5 months. And so when I started, I was probably about 220. And I could still, even with the progress that I had made, I could not run more than 1.5 laps, and then I would have to walk. And I still wouldn't get through walking the 4 laps by the time everybody else was done running the 4 laps. I couldn't do push-ups. I couldn't do a full sit-up. And this is all stuff that nobody judged me at boot camp for this. Everybody was very encouraging. Oh, you'll get there. Oh, um, you just got to keep practicing and go at your own pace and don't try to keep up with everybody else. You'll get there when you get there. And that was something that I really enjoyed, was all the encouragement that you got at boot camp, because it's very hard to do this alone. It's very hard to be your own motivation, to be your only cheerleader. It can be done, but it's very difficult. And so to have that community and encouragement and knowing that, okay, on Thursday I'm going to boot camp, I'm going to get to see these people and I'm going to get to show them the improvements that I've made and what I can do now. That was very, very helpful for me. So when I started boot camp, I was not yet doing Herbalife. I was using my own stuff, making my own meals. And the boot camp was a boot camp that was put on by an Herbalife coach. And so we went, and she had shakes for everybody to sample. She had this tea. If you know anything about Herbalife, everybody loves the tea. It's just one of the most amazing products that they have. But she had this stuff for me to try, and I tried it. And I said, oh, I can't afford it right now. Maybe I'll try it some other time. And she offered me this 3-day trial pack. I was like, no, I don't want it. I make my own food. I do my own stuff, but I'll be here for the boot camps. She said, okay, no problem. And so I kept coming back to the boot camps, and she would always have the tea. And so I would drink the tea, and you would get this energy. And it would push you through your workouts, and it was awesome. It had this great flavor, it was sweet, but it wasn't too sweet. And it was just the tea. Everybody loves the tea. And so I think that's the first thing that sucked me in. And so I kept coming to the boot camps, and every time she'd say, do you want to try this? Do you want to try that? Here again, I have my 3-day trial pack that you can try. And I always, no, Ketsy, I don't need it. I don't need it. Ketsy's the name of my coach. I've got this. And I probably told her for a good 3-4 months, no, I don't need your Herbalife stuff. I don't need it. No, that's okay. And I finally gave in, and so when I started Herbalife, I was probably still right about 220. For a good 3 months, I was stuck at a stall. I was eating good, but obviously not well enough, because I would have had better results. And I kept telling her, I'll try it. I finally gave in, and I tried it. And I tried it the first time by getting into a challenge. And I actually, I don't remember if I won my first challenge. It might have been my second one. But during that first challenge, I lost probably 7 or 8 pounds in 21 days, which for me was huge, because I had spent so long stuck at the same weight and I wasn't making any progress. So to lose that amount of weight and to feel good was amazing. And again, y'all, that tea will have you crazy. The tea and the aloe, you'll be feeling good. You're going to pee a lot because you're getting enough hydration. But the shakes, I think my first set of shakes, I got a pumpkin spice, because hello, white girl, love pumpkin. I think it was pumpkin spice and vanilla. And the whole thing was you drink your 2 shakes a day with your 2 snacks and your lean healthy meal. And do that consistently throughout the challenge, and we'll see what your results are. And I'll actually see if I can find the result pictures from my very first couple weeks on Herbalife, so that you guys can see. But it was good. It made me feel good. It was easy. The time that I didn't have to spend prepping every single meal for every single day was priceless. I mean, it takes less than 2 minutes to make your shake, and then you're only having to prep one meal. Not to mention the fact that it was saving me money because I wasn't getting to work and realizing, oh crap, I didn't bring my lunch. I already had my lunch prepped. I wasn't spending money on the fast food. I wasn't spending money on coffees from Starbucks because I had my tea. I wasn't just all this frivolous spending that you don't realize you're doing until you have everything that you need planned out was huge. So, like I said, it took me about 4 or 5 months of going to boot camp before I actually started the products. And then once I started them, I've sucked in for life. I have no intention of stopping them. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and go follow me on Instagram, MirandaGetsFit93, and go like my Facebook at MirandaGetsFit. Thank you.